Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers have broken their silence after the rapper was accused of sexually abusing a 9-year-old boy in fresh lawsuits. The 54-year-old music mogul is being held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center and was denied bail following his recent arrest by federal agents in New York City. He faces charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. This week, Combs was accused of sexual abuse by a further 120 victims, including a 9-year-old boy. The 120 new alleged victims were revealed by Texas lawyer Tony Busby on Tuesday, who stepped forward to declare he is representing the new victims who claim to have cases against the rapper that span the past 25 years. One of Combs' lawyers, Erica Wolf, broke her silence to address the meritless allegation and say that Mr. Combs emphatically and categorically denies the accusations. She said, as Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized, he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. Speaking to TMZ, she added, that said, Mr. Combs emphatically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. He looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation. Out of the 120 new alleged victims, 25 of them claimed they were underage when the alleged abuse happened. Busby spoke at a press conference in Houston, Texas, and claimed that the youngest victims were aged 9, 14, and 15. The lawyer said, this individual, who was 9 years old at the time, was taken to an audition in New York City with bad boy records. This individual was sexually abused allegedly by Sean Combs and several other people at the studio in the promise to both his parents and to him himself of getting a record deal. He added, other boys were there to audition as well. All of them were trying to land a record deal. All of them were minors. The new allegations come after he was arrested in New York. The 14-page indictment leveled against Combs paints a stark picture, detailing allegations that he abused, threatened and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation and conceal his conduct across decades. Prosecutors also charged him with creating a criminal enterprise where members and associates perpetrated crimes such as sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The rapper has firmly denied all charges, pleading not guilty in response to accusations stemming from a spate of sexual assault lawsuits leveled against him. P. Diddy's accomplices are going to be exposed in an upcoming lawsuit, and they are household names, according to attorney Tony Busby. The lawyer who is now representing cases on behalf of 120 alleged victims of Diddy's crime said, the names will shock you. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already, but because of the nature of this case, we are going to make damn sure, that we're right before we do that. He went on to state that he is planning to file lawsuits in several states across America over the next month and has vowed to reveal the names of those involved at a later date. Busby added that the claimants are male and most of the alleged assaults are said to have happened in New York, Florida, Georgia, and California. The complaints about the alleged activity date back to 1991, with the youngest victim said to be just 9 years old. However, 25 of the alleged victims say they were minors at the time. Busby claims that many of the allegations are related to his annual white parties, as well as hotels which allegedly involve drugs. Busby added, this is an important matter that we intend to aggressively pursue. We will leave no stone unturned to find all potentially liable parties, to include any individual or entity who participated in or benefited from this egregious behavior. As we do this important work, we ask that the public understand it is very difficult and takes an incredible amount of courage for victims to come forward. I ask that we treat these brave individuals with the dignity and compassion that they deserve as they go through this trying time. Further, I'm also asking that if you have been victimized, or are a witness to the alleged behavior, please come forward. Your identity will remain confidential at this time. When asked about the new allegations, a spokesperson for Combs told the Mirror of the allegations. As Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized, he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. That said, Mr. Combs emphatically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. He looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation. Prosecutors say that Diddy abused, threatened and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation and conceal his conduct. The disgraced musician is being held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center ahead of his trial after 2 previous bail requests were rejected by a judge. On Tuesday, the 120 new alleged victims were revealed by lawyer Busby, who stepped forward to announce he is representing the new victims who claim to have cases against the rapper that span the past 25 years. Of the 120 new victims, 25 claimed they were underage when the alleged abuse happened. Busby encouraged others to step forward and report crimes against the rapper if they felt they were victims. He said in his statement, "If you're out there, and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers." It is expected that the vast majority of complaints against the musician will be filed in courts in New York City and Los Angeles. One of Combs' lawyers, Erica Wolf, addressed the meritless allegation and said that Mr. Combs emphatically and categorically denies the accusations against him. It comes as he's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center after being arrested in New York by federal agents. The music mogul faces charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. The rapper has firmly denied all charges, pleading not guilty in response to accusations stemming from a spate of sexual assault lawsuits leveled against him. Tony Busby is a litigator, politician, TV show host, and Marine Corps veteran. In 2019, he unsuccessfully ran for mayor of Houston, Texas and for Houston City Council in 2023. He grew up in Atlanta, Texas, and earned a BS in psychology from Texas A&M University and a JD from the University of Houston Law Center. He was also the battalion commander of the NROC Midshipman Battalion and a member of the Texas A&M Corps of Cadets. Busby has provided legal counsel in many high-profile cases over the years. He was former Texas Governor Rick Perry's lead defense attorney when Perry was indicted by a Travis County grand jury in 2014 on charges of abuse of power and public corruption. The indictment was dismissed and Perry pleaded not guilty in 2016. Busby represented U.S. Attorney General Ken Paxton in September 2023 on 16 impeachment counts of bribery and misuse of office. Paxton was acquitted when the case moved to the Texas State Senate. Busby represented a group of 22 female victims who filed sexual misconduct lawsuits against Cleveland Browns football star Deshaun Watson. It was claimed he exploited them between early 2020 and March 2021 when he was in Houston. The case ended in a settlement outside court. He went on to represent 4 people when they sued controversial singer Chris Brown and his team for $50 million. It was claimed the 4 concertgoers were beaten by the singer's entourage after a gig in Texas in July this year. The case is ongoing. In 2021, the lawyer filed a $750 million lawsuit against Travis Scott as he represented 120 victims who died or were injured during the horrifying Astroworld Festival crowd crush. And now, Busby is representing 120 victims, including a 9-year-old boy, who accused Sean Combs of sexual abuse. Combs has denied the allegations against him.